Hi guys, this is Bill from Spencer1984.com with another update to the Left 4 Dead 2 Jimmy Gibbs Jr. stock car. And this week, going to be doing the body on it. So, taking a look at where I am at this point. So I've got the leading edge of the hood rounded off and reshaped a little bit, so it looks a lot more accurate to a 69 Charger than as it came out of the box. And over here in the corner, I've got the sink marks filled in, both sides there. This little Tamiya filler putty and some sanding and polishing to get those smoothed off. I've got rid of the parting seams along the tops of the fenders right here. I've got the fuel port filled in with some styrene and a bit of putty, because in the game it was actually a plot point that it was over here on the right fender. So I've got that smoothed off. Got the sink marks in both rear fenders filled in. And then gave all the panel lines a once over, so they're a little bit deeper and sharper. So now it's time to get this into some paint and see what it looks like. So generally looking pretty good. The sink marks are gone. Fuel fill looks pretty smooth there. Overall, looking pretty clean here. So time to start putting some stripes on it. And for that, I'll be using some Tamiya masking tapes. Right here I've got 1, 2, 6, and 18 millimeter. And we're starting with the 6 here. So what I'm going to do is take a strip long enough to do the whole hood. Don't need the cat hair on it. All right, I'm going to take the strip, going to line it up with the center peak here, and tack it right at the front and at the back, and just do a light tack for right now, because I'm probably going to have to do an adjustment on it, but that's the nice thing about this tape. Take my second piece here. Got that. And I'm going to lay that on the other side of the peak. And again, tack it front and back. So I know I've got it centered in the front, and for the back, I'm just going to use these as cheap calipers. And this strip is not quite lined up correctly. So I'll hold it at the front, because with the peak I know that's right. Move it over just a little bit. Light tack again. We'll double check it here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Check the front, just do the same thing. Double check my work. And that's looking pretty good there. So now I can press it down the rest of the way. And just rub it down front to back, over the edges here. And that's looking pretty good. There's my base. I'm going to take one more long strip. And I'm going to put this one right down the middle, cover over that little gap. And so now to make the side stripes, I'm going to take the 1 millimeter, pull off just a short section of it here. I'm going to stick that right against the edge of the stripe. Just like that. And I'm going to repeat that. Back here. And these are going to act as the spacers for the stripes down the sides of the main stripe. One more short section up front here. And one last one in the back right here. Okay, so I've got my spacers in place. Take a long strip. I'm going to lay that right here so that it lines up with those spacers front and back. Just right there. Because this does have the recesses on the hood, I'm not going to burnish it down quite yet. Just going to make sure that it's good fore and aft. And then I'll go back through, do some trimming, and make sure that it's all burnished down there in the recesses, along with the back edge of the hood and around the windshield cowl and wipers. Take my second side now, line that up. And there we go. Get rid of my spacers here. A little brush down just to make sure that it stays in place. And since I'm sure nobody wants to sit through a video of me doing the entire car, bam! Got all the striping masked off, sides, top, and trunk. And I know it's not exactly a match to the game. I don't have the vertical marks on the door vents. Stripes on the top of it are a little bit wider, but I think this captures the look of it. And for the main color, I'm going to be using some TS58 Pearl Light Blue. So I'm going to put a color code on it. And here's how it looks on the body. And overall, I'm pretty happy with the look of it. Now, again, I know it's not an exact match to the game, but it is going to look better once I get the hood vents painted, get the decals on the doors, the contingency sponsors, and of course the wing on the rear. But, overall, I think it kind of captures the look of it. Those vertical stripes on the door vents are probably my biggest change, and that was because they never looked quite right to me. Really just can't say enough good things about that Tamiya masking tape. I've tried a few other ones, but for my money, that still works the best. Now, I also finished off the interior from last week. I've got the roll bar in it now, got the shift lever made from straight pin, and I did finish off the dashboard with gauges. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get it in shot, but you can sort of see. I went with the white gauges that were in the kit. Just figured those were a little more appropriate for a stock car. Also just wanted to give a shout out. In last week's video, Mike was the one who suggested I paint the roll bar to match the body, and sounded like a really good idea, so thanks for that. And yeah, so that'll do it for this week. I'm going to let this paint gas out a couple more days, and then I'll polish it to get rid of the ridges between the white and the blue, and then it'll be time for decals. So I will have another update next week. Check back then, and thanks for watching.